Welcome back to the Dreamland. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember. Just make yourself comfortable. Let your breathing become slow and easy, and allow the night to grow a little quieter around you. Perhaps somewhere beyond the edge of sleep, a small golden lantern is already glowing, and if you follow its gentle light, it may lead you to a place that appears only when the world has become completely still. There are places in the world that can be found on every map. There are roads that lead to them, rivers that pass beside them, and mountains that stand quietly behind them. But there was one city no map could ever show. No traveler could reach it during the day. No carriage could find its streets beneath the morning sun. No one knew exactly where it was, because the city appeared only at midnight, and when the sun began to rise, it disappeared completely, as though it had never been there. This is the story of Lunaria, the quiet city between remembering and dreaming. So, wherever you are now, become comfortable. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember. You can simply listen and let the story carry you gently through the night. Long ago, in a small village surrounded by pine forests, there lived a young traveler named Elias. Elias was not searching for treasure. He was not looking for adventure. He simply enjoyed walking. He loved quiet roads, the sound of leaves moving in the evening breeze, and the peaceful feeling that came over the world after sunset. At night, the roads became empty. The houses became still, and the stars seemed much closer. One autumn evening, Elias found himself walking along an old forest road. The moon was hidden behind thin clouds. A cool breeze moved through the trees. Somewhere far away, an owl called once, then became silent. Elias continued walking, step after step after step. His lantern swung softly from his hand, its little flame casting a warm circle of gold across the road. After several hours, he noticed something strange. Ahead beyond the trees stood a log tower. Elias stopped. He had never seen a log tower in that forest before. The tower was tall and narrow, with a round log face near its top. The hands were almost touching 12, 11, 59. The forest became quieter. Even the wind disappeared. Then the log began to shake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The clouds slowly moved away from the moon. 10, 11, and then 12. With night, something changed. At first, Elias thought it was only moonlight, but then small golden lights appeared between the trees. One, then another, then another. Hundreds of them, perhaps thousands. They stretched far beyond the forest, glowing softly beneath the midnight sky. Elias stepped forward. The trees began to thin, and when he reached the edge of the forest, he stopped. Below the hill was a city, a beautiful city, a city that had not been there moments before. Tall towers rose gently into the blue black sky. Warm light glowed behind countless windows. Narrow streets covered between old stone houses. Small bridges crossed quiet canals. Golden lanterns hung above the doorways. Beyond everything, a silver river reflected the stars like a mirror. Elias simply stared. There were no crowds, no shouting, no hurried footsteps. The city was almost completely silent. It seemed to be sleeping, even though every window was glowing. Beside the road stood a wooden sign. Welcome to Lunaria. Elias had never heard the name. Yet somehow it felt familiar, as though he had dreamed of it long ago. He walked down the hill. The road was made of smooth hailstone. Every few steps, another lantern appeared, each giving off the same soft golden glow. Not bright, not harsh, just enough light to make the darkness feel warm. At the city gate, there was no guard and no locked door. Only two enormous stone pillars with a crescent moon carved above them. Elias passed beneath the arch. The moment he entered Lunaria, he heard music, a piano somewhere far away, playing a slow melody through the empty streets. He followed the sound. He passed flower boxes beneath sleeping windows, quiet fountains, and cats curled peacefully on warm stone steps. Curtains moved gently in the breeze. Everywhere were signs that people lived here. Yet no one seemed awake. When the melody faded, Elias noticed a small note on the piano. It said, "Some cities are built from stone. Ours is built from memories." He felt no fear, only curiosity and a deep sense of peace. Soon he found a small inn beneath a wooden sign shaped like a sleeping moon. The door opened before he could knock. An elderly woman stood inside. She had silver hair and a gentle smile. "You are late," she said softly. "Late? Very late, but not too late." Her name was Mara. She placed a steaming cup of tea before him. "I didn't ask for tea," Elias said. "I know," she replied. "In Lunaria, we prepare things for people before they know they need them." Elias took a sip. Warmth spread through him. "What is the place?" he asked. "Lunaria," she replied. "Why does it appear only at midnight?" Mara looked toward the glowing city. "Lunaria belongs to the quietest hour of the night. It appears when the world becomes still enough to remember." "Remember what?" he asked. "Everything people forget during the day," she replied. She spoke gently. "People hurry. They work. They worry. They plan tomorrow. And because their minds are so full, they forgot the small things." "These memories do not disappear," Mara said. "They simply become quiet. And at midnight, Lunaria gives them a place to return." Mara led him upstairs to a small room overlooking the city. "You may sleep here," she said. "Until morning?" She smiled. "Until the city disappears." Elias lay beneath a soft blue blanket. The river reflected the moon. Lanterns swayed above the streets. Slowly, very slowly, Elias fell asleep. When he opened his eyes again, he was standing in an enormous garden. Moonflowers grew along winding paths, their petals glowing faintly beneath the moonlight. Small golden lights floated above the grass like sleepy fireflies. At the end of the path sat an old man on a wooden bench. Elias sat beside him. Then the old man said, "I used to come here when I was young." Elias asked, "Did you live in Lunaria?" "No, I visited once, many years ago." Elias said, "How did you find it?" He said, "I was lost." Elias smiled. "So was I." Most people who find Lunaria are. The old man pointed toward the stars. "I used to watch them with my daughter." Elias asked, "What happened to her?" He said, "She grew up." People think growing up means leaving things behind, but it doesn't. It means carrying them differently. Elias said, "So the curtain is never really empty." When Elias looked again, the old man was gone. Only the empty bench remained, and beside it, a small golden lantern. Elias picked it up and followed the garden path to a bridge over a silver river. On the other side stood a street filled with doors, hundreds of them, perhaps thousands. Each door carried a name. Then Elias saw one with his own. Elias. He reached for the handle and opened it. Inside was a simple room, a wooden table, a chair, a window, and a warm lamp. On the table, a little paper boat. Elias stared. Suddenly, he remembered making paper boats with his grandfather when he was young. After some rain, they placed the boats in a little stream and watched the water carry them away. But now, he remembered, the room filled with the sound of gentle summer rain falling against the window, while everyone inside was safe and warm. Elias closed his eyes. He did not try to hold the memory. He simply allowed himself to remember. When the rain faded, the room disappeared. Elias stood in Lunaria once more. The city had become quieter. Mara waited at the end of the street. "It is almost time," she said. "Time for what?" he said. "For Lunaria to sleep." "Will I ever see it again?" she said. "Perhaps." "How?" he asked. "You don't need to search for it," he said. "Then how will I find it?" Mara smiled. When the world becomes quiet, you will know. They walked together toward the city gate. The golden lights were growing softer. Mist rose from the river. The stars began to fade. Then one lantern went dark. Then another. Then another. The first light of dawn appeared beyond the forest. "Thank you," Elias whispered. "For what?" she said. "For reminding me." Mara smiled. She said, "That is what Lunaria does." Elias stepped through the gate. He turned back. The city was gone. There was only the forest, the log tower, and the empty road. Yet Elias felt different. He noticed the leaves moving in the breeze, the smell of damp earth, the warmth of the rising sun. Small things, gentle things, things people often forgot. He returned to his village, placed his lantern beside the window, and slept. That evening, darkness settled over the village, one by one. The stars appeared. Midnight came. The log began to chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. Elias looked toward the forest. Then between the trees, a tiny golden light appeared. Elias smiled. He did not need to go. He did not need to search. Because now he understood. Lunaria was not really a city, hidden somewhere in the world. It was a quiet place between remembering and dreaming. A place that appeared whenever someone became still enough to notice what had always been there. All the gentle things that disappear beneath the noise of the day, but return when the world becomes quiet. And perhaps, if we are very still tonight, you may notice something too. Perhaps there is a little golden light somewhere beyond your window. Perhaps there is a quiet road beneath the moon. Perhaps far away, a city is waiting. There is nothing you need to do. You do not need to find it. You do not need to understand it. You can simply rest. Let the night become softer. Let your thoughts become quieter. Let the world outside grow distant. Somewhere between midnight and the morning, Lunaria is still there. The quiet river keeps moving beneath the bridge, carrying moonlight from one sleeping street to another. Somewhere a curtain stirs. Somewhere a lantern remains awake. Somewhere a forgotten memory has found its way home, gently, without asking anything in return. Now the city is becoming quieter. The lanterns are gleaming. The stars are softening. The river continues to flow. Slowly, peacefully, without hurry. The night has nothing to ask from you. You are safe here and you may simply rest. Tomorrow can wait. The morning can wait. For now, there is only this quiet moment, this gentle darkness, this peaceful breeze, and the soft golden glow of a city that appears only at midnight. So, rest now. Let your body become heavy. Let your breathing become slow and easy. Let your thoughts drift like little paper boats floating gently down a quiet river. There is nowhere you need to go. Nothing you need to do. You can simply drift, and somewhere beyond the edge of dreaming, Lunaria is waiting, quietly, patiently, under the stars, until midnight comes again and the city appears, only for a little while, only for those who are quiet enough to notice. Good night, and may your dreams be gentle. Sleep well.